Are you one of those people who get excited in the spring and go from full winter hibernation mode, full swing into yard work and gardening? If you've ever had pain after a full day of gardening and yard work, stay tuned, because today we're going to talk about why that can happen and give you a few tips about how you can try to prevent future injuries. This time of year, we start to have more daylight. We start to see the sun more, maybe a little less so in 2023. But if you're exiting your winter hibernation phase, you may be starting activities that you haven't done in about 6 months or so. In this video series, I'm going to talk about why this rapid change in activity can cause pain and injury, how the movements you're doing with your yard work and gardening can place strain on your body, and then what you can do to try to prevent pain and injury this spring. One of the main reasons we develop pain or injuries in the spring is due to the rapid change in activity and the rapid increase in load on our tissues from the movements of gardening and yard work. In an exercise training program, you're usually starting out with the basics and then gradually improving the movements, increasing the difficulty, and increasing your load. We don't usually go from couch to half marathon or marathon. We usually start with couch to 5K. It's just like warming up before you do any other kind of exercise. We want to warm our bodies up to the movements we're going to be doing with our gardening and yard work. We want to get our tissues and muscles used to that load that we're going to be doing with these repetitive movements in our yards in the spring. Yard work and gardening usually involve repetitive movements with bending and reaching. Tasks such as pruning, trimming, raking, and just general yard cleanup can place strain on your lower backs, shoulders, and even your elbows and hands. Making a few little tweaks and modifications to your movements can help reduce the strain on your body and help prevent pain and injury. With trimming and pruning, you want to try to get as close to the work you're doing as possible to reduce any strain. Reaching forward and bending at the lower back can strain the low back and the shoulder. So take some steps with your legs to help get yourself closer to the work you're doing. If you're going to be doing work low to the ground, bending over can strain your lower back as well. So instead, kneel down to get closer to what you're doing, as long as this doesn't bother your knees. If you have knee pain with this, you can grab a pad and change the position you're kneeling in to help take the pressure off of your knees. With raking, you might be inclined to reach really far forward, rounding through your lower back to further your reach. This can strain your lower back, so bring your legs forward, keep your spine in neutral, and take shorter strokes with your raking to support your lower back. You can pivot with your legs to turn yourself around. With cleanup, you might be inclined to bend down to get the job done quickly, but this rounding can strain your lower back. So bend your knees, keep your spine neutral, and squat down using your legs to grab what you need to reduce low back pain. Pivot with your legs so that when you squat down, everything you need to is right near your center of your core. Having the proper tools and equipment can make these tasks a lot easier for you. In addition to using a kneeling pad or a stool for the low to the ground tasks, you can get a step stool or a small ladder to help you reach things that are overhead a little bit better. You can also use tools that have longer handles to give you more reach to help reduce the strain and all of the bending you might have to do. With some tasks such as raking, you may be able to do this on both sides of your body so you can give your body a break from doing things repetitively on one side. Remember to also just take breaks in general to give your body a little bit of a rest from doing the same movements with the same tissues over and over again. I know this might not always be easy to make adjustments and modifications, but any little tweak you can make to help reduce the strain on your body might make a pretty big difference. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how you can take the basic movements of yard work and gardening and turn them into functional exercises that you can use to train your body to tolerate the loads of your yard work and gardening a little bit better.